Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the CineMatch podcast, the show where we take different movies every week and find different ways to debate and rate them. My name is Cal Altimus, and joining me as he does every week, looking very dapper this time in his tuxedo shirt, is Mr. Nathan Hanna. First of all, when did you get that shirt? Was that James Bond?
First of all, Nathan Sacco Hanna.
Oh shit, I forgot this time. I was doing so well with that as well. Sorry, Grace.
You have been doing really well with it. And do you know what? I wish it was for Bond, but I actually had it a lot longer than before that.
Oh, really?
I bought it. I can't remember what I bought. I thought I bought it for something weight related to dress up. But
I bought one of them for Bond because everyone was doing the tuxedo thing, and I just bought one of them as well. So I thought that's where it was from.
Oh, so basically what you're saying is you've got one of these. We could have done a Step Brothers matching theme on the episode, and you just didn't wear your tuxedo t-shirt.
I'll be honest, whenever I buy like special like outfits for work, the minute I'm done wearing them, I never see them again.
Yeah.
That Hulk Hogan costume from last year is just gone. And it happens every time I do fancy dress. I have no idea what happens to the stuff. It just vanishes. Like Eleanor probably bins it without telling me.
Probably.
I've wasted a fortune on fancy dress outfits over the years for work. Second of all, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I've finally been to the cinema this week. Like, I've not been to the cinema, well, other than to work, I've not been to cinema to watch something since The Creator, which was before I went and got married. So, finally been.
What did you go to watch?
On Thursday, I watched the Welcome to the Darkness, the documentary about the band The Darkness. So I'm a massive fan, and that was really good, hilarious. And then I watched the Marvels on Friday morning in the IMAX.
How was that?
I actually really enjoyed it. It's villains a bit forgettable, but just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. You see some of the reviews are really good, but the majority of people online who haven't seen it are determined to tell you how bad it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Whenever there's a female-led movie, usually.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, just a lot of fun. Love the three main characters. I mean, I don't think it's as important as they made it out to be, but yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool. I still need to watch it, but I haven't been to.
You know what? I realize I never ask how you are.
You never do because you don't care, whereas I really care. That's the difference between us. I always like to check in, make sure you're doing all right.
I know you're okay.
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm lovely. Fresh trim, fresh haircut, looking the part. Sensei, my new Breakfast Club t-shirt, which is still my favourite thing I've ever bought. I think. I've been joined by 3 Christmas decorations. We're loving it. Yeah, I'm all right. I haven't been to the cinema in a while. I think I went recently to watch The Killer before it went onto Netflix, but before then, I can't remember the last time I went. It might have been Killers of the Flower Moon because I've been so busy, I've hardly gone myself. But I need to go watch Marvels then.
It feels like ages when you're so used to going to like once or twice a week. Then
yeah, I used to go all the time.
You don't go for a couple of weeks. It's like, oh god, I've not seen a new film in ages.
It does. It feels like you're behind. But then I keep going on like the cinema apps and stuff to see what times things are on. And I'm like, oh, it's still the same stuff it was 2 weeks ago. Like I'm still waiting for new stuff.
I have still not seen Killers of the Flower Moon. I really want to go see it, but I just don't have a chance.
That was a special movie, and it's a long one, but I really enjoyed that. Really, really enjoyed that. I definitely recommend watching it in the cinema. I'm glad I watched The Killer in the cinema as well because it's obviously on Netflix now. But I went to watch that on the big screen that day. It was fucking awesome. I loved it so much. So I'm glad I got to do that. But yeah, we might as well crack on then. We've got a great episode this week with 2.
We don't know yet. We're hoping it's a great episode.
I'm telling you, this is a great episode because we've got 2 fucking awesome movies, in my opinion. We're back with another CineMatch showdown, and we are pitting 2 Will Ferrell classics, if I do say so.
I know we've not announced. I mean, we have announced what it is. We've done 2 Will Ferrell plans. I like we talked about it last week, and we're like, oh, what other Will Ferrell movie? And somehow we landed on Blades of Glory and not fucking Anchorman.
Yeah, but it's because Anchorman's more of an ensemble thing, isn't it? We wanted to do something where it's 2 leads. We're doing Step Brothers, which is obviously Will Ferrell and John C. McGinley playing the 2 middle-aged Step Brothers, and we're doing it against Blades of Glory, which is Will Ferrell again and John Heder playing the ice skaters, because it just felt like it more matched up well because it was the 2 mains and stuff, and they had villains and stuff like that. But yeah, we knew we wanted to do Step Brothers.
Yeah, it would have been way too bad if we did Eurovision, because I would have just tens across the board for Eurovision.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. We need to find something we can do against that because it's quite unique. Eurovision, many films that link up.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
The blasphemy when we vote Eurovision across the board against the film that won Oscars. Because I fucking wouldn't. Only one of them's got Rachel McAdams, put it that way.
That's very true.
Love of my life. But yeah, we're doing Step Brothers. One of, I'd say, the most popular comedies of the last 20 years, I think. And we're doing it against Blades of Glory, which is another really good Will Ferrell film, in my opinion, that I don't think it's gone a bit underrated, I think, over the years. But for my money, I think they're both really funny. And I'll tell you now, as a teenager, I watched both of these films repeatedly. Back to the Future is probably the film I've watched the most, but these two can't be far off, because when I was 13, 14, it felt like me and my friends were just putting them on every weekend when one of us was staying at the other's house. And then when we were at school, we'd quote them all the time. These were the movies that there was a line for any situation and we just use it all the time. Some of the Chaz Michaels lines that I used just belt out from Blades of Glory, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I watched these so many times. So I feel like I didn't even really need to do a rewatch this week. I did anyway, but I don't feel like I needed to. Have you seen both of these a lot or not as much?
Step Brothers a lot. Blades of Glory a fair few times, but not as much as Step Brothers. So I did need to rewatch that. Step Brothers I probably quoted more than Blades of Glory, but there's one particular quote in Blades of Glory that fucking creases. It's a small quote that most people don't catch. Fucking creases me every time. And it's the first time for the first week in God knows how long I actually made notes of the quotes, because I was creasing.
It's at the point now, I feel like I've watched that many times. I didn't make notes on the quotes because I think I know them all. I'm going to just be quoting for fucking days. There's so many on both sides. But yeah, we're doing a showdown. I realised that every week when we do these, I don't bother to explain what it is again in case anyone's just watching and didn't watch the first episode when I actually explain. So I might as well just run through how it works. So
yeah, we've not done that in a while.
No, not at all. But yeah, so what we do with the showdowns, we take the two movies against each other, and we've got 10 different categories where we rate them out of 10. So what that kind of out of 10 anyway. What I mean by that is it's a bit like boxing and MMA, whereas we score them as rounds. So the winner always gets a 10, and the loser gets a 9 if it's close, an 8 if it's one-sided. Or was there a 10-7 once on your side?
Yeah, there was.
It's a fucking landslide. Draws are permitted, so you can do 10-10. I can't remember what you 10-7, but you did something.
I might check my note and see if I've got it written down. Yeah,
because that was historic. I think that's the only one we've had so far. But yeah, we do occasionally have 10-10s, but not too often, unless you're Nathan, who pulled out 2 last week and swung his own. Did himself date with his own film. But yeah, that's essentially it. Just thought I'd quickly run through it again because I haven't mentioned it in a while and people might actually not have a fucking clue what we're talking about.
I can't remember what it was, but I definitely did it off the cuff, which means that, because I'm looking at my notes for the past couple of weeks, which means that at one point I went 10-9 and then changed it to a 10-8 and then went fuck it 10-7 because I can't find it.
Yeah, it was quite a historic moment. I still think the best thing that's ever happened on this show was last week when you changed your score in the final category right at the end and it meant your favourite film didn't win.
I think you should go fuck yourself.
Because it was winning by 2 until you changed it. That is fucking glorious. But yeah, we might as well get started then. As I said, just to explain the rules. So the starting category we're going to go with is the best story. So in terms of the story throughout both movies, I'll quickly run through them now. We've got in Step Brothers, it's essentially just 2 middle-aged men that live at home with the single parents. And when the parents get married, they eventually collide. They start off as enemies. They become friends. They eventually become enemies again. Then they become friends again. But it's just essentially the story is just the hijinks they get up to living in this house as these fucking 40-year-old losers. And their attempts to make something of themselves through some global empire that they plan on building. And you compare that to the Blades of Glory story, which I feel is a little bit more driven, with the sense that it's about 2 male ice skaters, figure skaters, should I say, to be specific, who after tying for the gold medal at I think the Winter Games, end up scrapping and getting banned from singles figure skating for life, and then years later figure out some loophole that they can actually compete in pairs figure skating, and through ridiculous means end up teaming up together and becoming friends and going through all that and eventually competing at the Winter Games 4 years after they won at the the last installment. I'll let you go first this week. Which story did you prefer?
I think it's hard because they're both fucking great. That's the problem with this film. They're both fucking great, but I went 10-9 in favor of Blades of Glory because it's actually got a story. Like you said, I think Step Brothers is great, but it really is. It's not a film about wanting to tell a story. Really, it's a film about let's just do as many ridiculous things as possible and string it together somewhat coherently. Because there's a bit like they start off as man children and then they become family and like you say, hate each other, become friends, and then it's just like excuses to do stupid things and have like funny moments, which is great for a comedy, I suppose. But the growing, like I think the point of the story is that they learn to grow up, but then learn to be themselves, and even that's just kind of like just feels like it's thrown in just so you can have some more moments rather than a strong story. I do love it, but Blades of Glory story is great. I love it. I like the fact that Jimmy McElroy is adopted as a child and grown into this pro athlete and then dropped, and then he has to learn to work with his enemy and like dealing with love with Pam from The Office, and
who, by the way, has never looked hotter.
Yeah, that's fucking
He was
true.
unbelievable in this film.
Ironically, for an ice skating film, hot. I mean, neither of the stories are overly strong. I think the story isn't like what drives the film, but Blades of Glory definitely has more of a story than Step Brothers, so that's why I went in favour of Blades of Glory.
Yeah, I completely agree. I did the same. I went 10-9 in favour of Blades of Glory because, like you touched on, the Step Brothers, while it's hilarious, it is just like one comedy sequence after another. It's like just a bunch of skits essentially. There's no real storytelling like told all the way through. It is nice to watch them like grow up towards the end, but other than that, there doesn't really seem to be much going on. Whereas Blades of Glory, the way they start out as enemies and they come together and they have to learn to work together as they train for these games and train to do the Iron Lotus.
Iron Lotus.
They have like the moments where they fall out and then they come back together and have the triumphant performance at the end. The story it feels a bit more focused. They are both great, and like you said, it's not really the stories that make these movies special, but I just think in terms of what they offer, Blades of Glory does just pip it for me. It's close though, because like we said, neither of them are. It's not exactly fucking Citizen Kane, but they're just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, the story for Blades of Glory is literally like every comedy at that time. It was getting two actors who were hilarious together. Like this was just after like Napoleon Dynamite, and Will Ferrell was still probably, I think it was just riding high off of like Anchorman and everything. So it was literally just taking the two biggest comedy films at that time, and putting the leads together and seeing what we got. And what we got is fucking gold. But I think, do you know what? I think if you look at it without rose tinted glasses that I do, and we both do, it's not a great film, is it?
No, it's not. It's funny, but it's no fucking work of art.
No.
Let's move on then. Can't say it now without pausing. We'll touch on the best openings for both movies then. They're very, very different. And again, it feels like the Blades of Glory one is a lot more focused. So the Step Brothers opening is essentially it's the story of how the parents met. It's gives you an insight into the lives that both brothers live, and it kind of quickly takes you through their romance like really quickly. We see the mum and dad meeting at the conference when he accidentally says he wants to stick his head between her breasts or something like that. Can't remember the exact words. Fucking dirty bastard. And then when they tell each other about their 40-year-old sons at home, and then it leads to the wedding. And you kind of just get that. It's like an introduction to the characters, and you see how much of a fucking pair of silly bastards both sons are, and you just know like they are just the worst examples of human beings. And it essentially just all leads up to the moment when Nancy and Brendan move in with Robert and Dale at the house, and it's kind of, I'd say the opening is all the way up until the moment when they're standing on the grass introducing themselves, and it comes up with the stepbrothers. Whereas the Blades of Glory opening is, again, it's kind of like an introduction to the characters. We see the little fucking awesome montages, by the way, for Jimmy McElroy skating his little orphan awesome, and Chaz Michaels, the ice devouring sex tornado, and we get like just that brief like background on their characters, as well as I'd say that whole first performance and the gold in their counts. I'd class that as the opening. So we get the two dances and the eventual scuffle, and then being banned from figure skating. So in terms of the openings, I went 10-9 in favor of Blades of Glory again, because I do like the Step Brothers opening. I think it's quite funny, and like I said, you immediately see what sort of characters they are. And I love the scene with Dale and his dad when he's talking about his chest pubes and his ball throw. Like I love that stuff. Or when I don't want to touch on too many quotes. I feel like I'm just going to get into the quotes.
We're
but
going to get through so many quotes.
Yeah, I love it all. I think it's great, and I think it's really funny. But the way in Blades of Glory, where it's obviously a piss take, but they pretend to take figure skating so seriously. Like the stuff with Jimmy McElroy as a child on the ice, like at the orphanage, then it transitions into him at the games, and they have that showdown, and we get those three, should I say, unbelievable montages of Jimmy, Chaz, and the Van Waldenbergs. Like some of that stuff is just fucking awesome. Like the entire Chaz Michaels like video package is just fucking comedy gold. I think like the stuff with when he wrote his own poems and he skated on the underground skating scene. Like it's just fucking absurd. Yeah. It's absurd, but I think it's so funny. And I think, like I said, it also feels like it's more of the like they really get into the story immediately with the showdown on the ice and having the commentators commentate on the fight. And he's like, when he's talking about the perfect headbutt and stuff, I think it's fucking brilliant. So I went 10-9 again in favor of Blades of Glory.
I disagree. The first disagreement of the episode. I prefer the Step Brothers, so I went 10-9 Step Brothers just because I just find it so much more fucking funny. The bit, like you said, where it's interchanged between Dale and his dad and Brendan and his mum in the car, and it keeps switching between the two, fucking every single time. Gets when he says, "I'm not gonna." It's one of the quieter lines where he's like, "I'm not gonna call him dad." And I'm like, fucking
even if there's a fire.
And what's the bit where Dale's talking about like what if I come in out of the shower, I'm looking good, and she
drives me by the wiener.
Yeah. But like all of it, like and the whirlwind romance of Nancy and
Robert,
like all great. Like you say, like when he said, "I just want to put my head between those breasts," and even like the when she says, as you all know, my other son couldn't be here because of an important golfing
fishing trip, I think, is it?
Like that. But again, that treats it like really ridiculous. Like, why in your wedding speech would you announce that he'd been laid off from your job and he's coming to live with you and all that kind of stuff? And I'd find it, and when again, don't want to get too much into quotes, but it's like when Will Ferrell picks up the plate and is like, "I didn't ask for salmon."
I said it 4 times. This wedding is horse shit.
Which, if I wish we'd watched this one a couple of months ago, so I could have soundbited that and played it at my own.
Yeah.
But no, I just like it loads more. It opens with the him can make it microwaving grated cheese on Doritos, and with a fucking massive bowl of chocolate, like Nesquik Summit. And then
Dale's dad leaves him the money for a takeaway, and he says it's not enough.
That's not enough. No pay-per-view. I just think it sets up Blades of Glory sets up the story and whatever. But I think in terms of comedy, you can't beat the one in Step Brothers, and it gets you from it grabs you by the balls straight away, and it don't let go. And
grabs you by the wiener.
Grabs you by the wiener, gets you, and then they get it's such a. I don't know, it just feels like such an indie moment in the film when they get out of the car and the music's playing, they just stood staring at each other. It feels like proper indie movie, like such an indie movie shot, and then he's like, you can call me Dragon.
Yeah, well, you have to call me Nighthawk.
And I love it. So yeah, 10-9 to Step Brothers because it's just fucking brilliant straight away. We're not going to have any quotes left for the quote round, I bet you.
I know, yeah. Do you know, to be fair, I think with this, for me, I don't think there's a wrong answer. Like, I'm happy for either one. Like, I think they're both just fucking awesome. I think it was just those little montage, like those little video packages introducing it to the characters that took it over me.
Oh yeah, I do like the montage. I like when he's fucking dancing and his arms going, and then you can see he's making himself look like a fucking bird.
Yeah.
And when Michaels is on the ice, and it's like Jimmy's just done like this really beautiful routine, and he's just on there doing like fucking thrusting and
like when women are throwing underwear at him and stuff.
Going up to women and like, did he lick her face?
Yeah, and they said like Chaz. I think the commentator said something like, "Oh, this classic Chaz. He's not just here to put on a show. He's here to make love to the audience." I think it's so funny, but yeah, I love the bit when they get off the ice and they have the little stare down, and Jimmy's like, "This is a quote that me and my friends used to say all the time. It's when Jimmy says, 'Get out of my face.' Chaz is like, 'I'll get inside your face.'" That's a line I have repeated probably about 1 million times, like in my life. It's so funny. But yeah, I think they're both great. So there's no real wrong answers there. And it's the same with the endings, which we'll talk about now. I think both endings are great. The Step Brothers one is at the fucking Catalina wine mixer. And it's kind of like everyone realizing what arseholes they've been and how they've neglected that inner child. Like Robert's story with how he used to think he was a dinosaur is just fucking comedy gold. Derek kind of coming to his senses, and like all of it's like
remembering his brother flying a kite with him fucking gets me. It's just Adam Scott's reaction afterwards. It's so fucking over the top. Yeah. I love him.
But I think what helps it as well is it's all played with Will Ferrell's character singing the opera song. I think it's
Time to Say Goodbye.
Yeah, singing the song on the stage, like, and it's just funny watching like all the different characters have epiphanies because of it. Like his therapist has that little like
the lumberjack
about him, and everyone kind of just realizes like Dale and Brendan are fucking. It's good that they've kind of kept a sense of that childhood in a certain way, and then we obviously see that little flash forward where they've built the fucking treehouse out of the boat, and then we've got the Chewbacca masks. Brendan's isn't movie quality.
It's okay, the mine's not movie quality.
And the therapist is like, Brendan, show where's the shit out of that mask or something like that. And you compare that to the Blades of Glory ending, which is essentially just that final figure skating scene where they reunite at the end after Michaels has been fucking underwater and comes out looking frozen and takes his thing off and he's completely fine. And we get that final ice skating scene to Flash Gordon, I think, is it?
It's it's Queen in it.
Yeah, and you get that whole scene where they finally do the final like figure skating, and the Von Wallenbergs try one last time to get him, and they throw the little pearl on the ice, and it cracks Chaz's foot, and they do the Iron Lotus, but have to switch places, which
is great because she's like, I have to do everything myself. Pulls off all of the beads, but only throws one of them.
I know, yeah.
Fucking cripples him perfectly.
Yeah, it's good shot from her, to be fair. But yeah, that whole scene when they have to switch the Iron Lotus and the coach bottles it, and he's like, "Nah, don't do it, boys," and then they do it anyway. And you see the skate just cut the little hair on his neck, and they end up winning. While the Von Waldenbergs get arrested before doing a quick weird incest case, which came out of fucking nowhere. Do you remember Same Difference?
Same Difference.
They were like a pop duo that went on X Factor when they were young, like years ago. It was like a brother and sister.
Sound familiar, but no.
That were the vibes I got.
Lannister vibes.
Yeah, that's what the Von Wallenbergs always remind me of. Same Difference. But yeah, I think both endings are great. But how did you score that?
Oh, easily 10-9 to Step Brothers.
Did you?
Wine mixer, man. You can't beat that. Like, and I love Blades of Glory, but it's just like it's a standard ending. I do love when he's comes in dead fucking icy and wet. Oh no, he glides down on the fucking wire and he's kicking people with his blades as he's going. And he like jumps up and he's fully dressed. Brilliant. And the Iron Lotus at the end, great. But it's pretty much a standard ending. I mean, it does end really weird with them winning and then them blasting off into.
I know, eh?
Fucking.
And the when he's stood at the top of the crowd and he's chanting that Katie's not a whore.
Yeah. I like that the Van Wardenberg's got caught by the mascot with a fucking crossbow in his head.
Yeah.
But no, you can't beat the Catalina wine mixer. Like, you've got all, like you say, all the fantasies with like Dale as a centaur, and they're just speaking a fucking different language, just like a mythical language. They got the lumberjack, like I say, you got Adam Scott, Derek's like memory of him being a kid, and it's all fucking like all set to Time to Say Goodbye. Not like the English version either, like the original language, which I wish I knew. Probably Italian.
Yeah, I think I saw something that the original's in Italian, but he was singing a Spanish version.
Spanish version. Oh yeah, he is fluent in Spanish. That makes sense. And then every now and again you get Dale shouting boats and hoes.
Which we'll be coming up to in the soundtrack, by the way.
Yeah,
the best soundtrack category coming up. We're touching on boats and hoes.
But yeah, it's all fucking brilliant. And like when you got the therapist being like, I'm only here because he told me he was going to kill himself or whatever. And they all just like they're all just like ignoring it and being like, oh, she's lovely. And
yeah,
you know.
I think Nancy, the mum's like, oh, I see you playing hard to get.
Yeah. This is not helpful. And then you have Brennan and Derek like trying to hug, and it fucking gets me every time. Like they go to hug, and then he like pulls him in, and then does a really slow punch to the ribs, just because they just can't do it. It's fucking amazing. And then you've got Dale breaking up with Derek's wife, who just fucking starts screaming. It's
played wonderfully by Catherine Hahn, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I was so shocked when I realised years later that that's the same woman as Agatha. I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah, but top tier. No else to say about it. I mean, any film that can end its big climax with opera, drums, a bit of boats and hoe rapping, and some fantasy sequences all tied together in one. When he fucking sings like at the end and it smashes the helicopter ice sculpture.
Yeah, I went 10-9 in favour of Step Brothers as well. One of the things that tied it over for me is just how fucking funny the Billy Joel H's tribute band was. When he gets kicked out because that guy keeps requesting that song and he starts swearing at him and he starts to fuck off with his trash wife or something like that. I can't remember his exact words. He gets dragged off because of it, and Dale goes up alone and does the drums. He's getting booed before Brendan steps up and does the song. It's so fucking funny. And although, like I said,
they start singing, they start chanting, Dell has a mangina.
Yeah. Brendan has to get up and do the song. But yeah, I think the stuff with Richard Jenkins' character Robert and the whole when he used to be the dinosaur and you see him like telling that story and acting out, that's so fucking funny. The whole thing is funny. Do you know one of my favorite things? I can't believe I almost forgot it. Is I can't remember the name of the actor. It's Rob something, and he plays Gilthorpe in Modern Family, and he's Derek's friend, and he's talking to Brennan.
Pow!
Yeah, he's talking to Brennan. He's like, "It's a good job, but your face. I just want to rearrange your face." And he's like, "You need to change that face, but I'll change it for you." And Brennan's like, "I'll take the advice. He's like, "Grab that face." It's like so fucking funny. And I love that actor. I think he's so funny. Yeah, the Catalina wine mixer is like, pow! Like everything that guy does is just fucking brilliant. I think it's Derek's birthday when they get up to do the speech and he's like, "Do you want me to shut this down?" Like that guy's just brilliant. And I think that sort of stuff is what pushes it over for me, because I think the Blades of Glory ending is funny. And
standard though.
Yeah, the stuff when he shouts Katie's not a whore. And he has to like ride down and hit everyone, and he gets on the ice, and they do the dance and reversing the roles for the animals. It is good. And when he's like on the stretcher and he's like, "Yeah, just get him through the crotch, it's easy access," because she's an attractive woman. It is really funny, but yeah, it is just like it does feel like a by the numbers ending.
Fucking nurse that's got like a really low button shirt, like
yeah, she's got cleavage out, and
he's
got the cleavage out. It's so over the top. It's so unrealistic, but it's funny as hell. So we let it off.
Like when they're having dinner at Step Brothers and Derek tries talking, and he like Robert cuts him off because he's listening to Dale and Brennan. And like the thing is about our karaoke business: if you can't sing, don't get up. Fucking brilliant.
It is. It's so good. It is so good. That whole bit with the Chewbacca masks is so funny as well. It's okay, man. It's that movie quality.
Oh, the real fucking and then the fucking we have the after credit scene where they beat the shit out of a load of children.
Yeah, yeah, which is special.
Which
That's
is great because
amazing.
you can see him like it's like shot like there's kids running up to him and then it cuts to the back of him and they're clearly fucking adults.
Yeah, that was a satisfying scene. I love that. I like that they brought that back after the earlier scene. But yeah, that ending's just fucking great, isn't it? It's a great ending to a great film.
Tell me now, did you touch my drum kit?
No, I was watching Cops. So funny, man. I'm gonna put my nutsack on your drum kit. That's so good. Right, well, we'll talk about the main characters next. Then we'll start with Will Ferrell because obviously he's a main in both movies, and like we said, we picked these two films because it's Will Ferrell and someone else starring alongside him in both. So we've got two different versions of Will Ferrell here. We've got Brennan Huff, the oversized man child who lived at home and is essentially just really like immature and hasn't aged one bit, and he just pisses about, and he's quite spoiled. But you've got him against Chaz Michael Michaels, who's this like sex ed addict, ice figure skater, and quite the opposite. Like he's quite got a bravado about him.
Boy of the ice figure skating world.
Yeah. He's like I said, he's the ice devouring sex tornado. Apparently, that's what they call him. Both are very different characters, but it's weird because they're so different, but also they both feel like proper Will Ferrell roles. Like he thrives at both, and I love both. But I went 10-9 in favor of Chaz Michael Michaels because I think he's fucking one of the funniest movie characters in anything. Like there's almost not a single line that comes out of his mouth which isn't funny. Like he just comes out with the most utter shit. Like the stuff when they first meet, when he's like, "Yeah, the night is a dark time for me." And he has that fucking. He's got his special brush. Everything he does when he shotguns in his head. I think. I think it's Jimmy says he wants the top bump. He's like, I already called it in my head. And then when they go to the car, he's like, "Oh, shotgun for life." Like everything that Chaz says is just fucking brilliant. The scene when he's getting chased by Strands van Waldenberg and he's on the ice and he looks like he's gonna go punch and he just goes like that. It's just fucking gold. Everything Chaz does is great. Brendan's hilarious. He really is. And I think him and Dale together is a better pairing. Like they bounce off each other so well. But I think Brendan feels like a character we've seen Will Ferrell play before. Like I feel like in Daddy's Home, he's kind of a similar character, whereas Chaz Michael Michaels just feels like its own unique thing. So I went 10-9. I don't know if I said that already, but I went 10-9.
You did, and we're going to disagree again because I went 10-9 for Brennan because for the exact same reason, there's not a fucking word that comes out of his mouth that doesn't make me piss myself. And not even words. The bit where he fucking moves into his apartment and he runs out of toilet paper and he just fucking puts his arse in the sink with the bath mat, with the toilet mat, sorry, and he starts fucking wiping. It's so fucking funny. And he's emotionally and everything about him stunted. He's just a fucking child. Like you think he's grown up, but like I said before, like even like he's done all of this to get the parents back together. He even said he was going to kill himself so that he can get his therapist to come to the Catalina wine mixer. Everything about him is, but and Chaz Michael Michaels is fucking brilliant. So this is if it's a very close 10-9. I didn't want a 10-10 this week. It's a very, very close 10-9, but he's so like. What I love about Chaz Michael is so fucking over the top. So the bit when he's ice skating as the evil wizard and he's fucking shouting at people and throwing up his mask. Fucking, I don't quite know how he's drinking because the hand's inside the mask, but then it cuts to outside and his arms are doing this. I don't quite know how that worked. But fucking Chaz Michael's magic. And he has one quote that I will quote as much as I can if I can, but I'll save that for the quotes round. But yeah, Brennan's just fucking hilarious in absolutely everything, and the fact that he's I mean, I bet I know 100% that's how they play him. But he's just a 10-year-old kid in a 40-year-old body. It's brilliant when he gets fucking spanked by Robert.
He said his ass is on fire.
Yeah, it's when he's like, I'm just watching the lady at the beginning, and he's watching aerobics, and as soon as the doors close, he pulls the trousers down.
It is fun.
And there's the bit when they got the night vision goggles on, and he's like, you know what? You can't even notice them.
Yeah, it's just like they're not that visible on your face.
Not noticeable, yeah. And it's just all the little like. Chaz Michaels is over the top bad boy, and I feel like not that I've seen Will Ferrell do it a lot, but it's not the bad boy aspect, but the confidence aspect is very much like Anchorman. Whereas Step Brothers is just a fucking idiot. I can't remember Daddy's Home, not gonna lie, but he's just a fucking idiot in this, and that's what I love about it. And like I say, he's a child. Like when he's like, "Can we build bunk beds?" and he's kind of stood there going, does that mean we can?" Like a proper kid would do, because they're just waiting for that approval. And Robert's like, "I don't give a fuck." So yeah, 10-9 to Brennan, because I just love how fucking stunted and stupid he is.
Yeah, that's fair enough. They're both great characters.
Beautiful singer.
Yeah, very good singer. The songbird of his generation is what he's been called.
When he sings for the first time, he's like, "I don't know, I'm just feeling a bit off today, and the acoustics in this room."
Yeah, and Dale says, "You took the shape of a unicorn." He's brilliant. Brennan is brilliant, but so is Chaz. I think they're both just so fucking good. Like Will Ferrell, he gets like a rap for playing a lot of his characters quite similarly. It's the same sort of criticism like Ryan Reynolds gets, but I feel like it works almost every time. There are a few misses, like Holmes and Watson is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And I went to the cinema to watch that. I was so upset. But yeah, for the most part, he almost never misses for me. I just think he's hilarious in everything. So yeah, they're both great characters. This next one though, the other main characters in both are very, very different, and I've got a clear winner here. Not to spoil it, but I've got a clear winner here. You've got Dale Dovak, who is Brennan's stepbrother, son of Robert, and he's another 40-year-old man-child who, like Brennan, is very immature, and he's living at home, and he's quite selfish, and he's just a bit fucking idiot. And you compare him against Jimmy McElroy, who's this sensitive figure skater who's quite in touch with his emotions, and a lot of his comedy comes from the way he bounces off Chaz and how different they are. How did you score that?
I want to know what your clear winner is. I mean, Dale is 100%. I love Jimmy, but Dale is 100% the winner on this one. 10-9, easy.
Just writing.
Was you waiting for me to expand?
Writing your score down so I can tally it up at the end.
I'm more bothered about what you think the clear winner is. Just before we get on a fucking tangent, I don't know if we're going to be arguing or agreeing.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, that's what?
It's fucking unbelievable. John C. Reilly is incredible in Step Brothers. I think there's large parts of that movie where I actually think he's funnier than Will Ferrell, which is surprising to say, but I think he's brilliant.
Got some fucking great bits.
Yeah, I think Dale is just an absolute. Oh, he's a riot. I think he's so funny. Like almost everything he says is hilarious. The stuff with Derek's wife is just fucking comedy gold. The stuff when Nancy first moves in, he's trying to establish dominance by telling asking her to make him food when he's got a sandwich, or saying he likes fresh fruit around and chocolate chips in his pancakes. Like everything Dale does is just brilliant, and the way he clashes with Brennan at the beginning, and then eventually the way they team up and just some of the shit they get together is just so good. And Jimmy McElroy is a bit of a bitch.
Yeah,
like. He's funny, but in the sense that he's funny because Chaz is so different. Like, I think if Jimmy was just around on his own, that's not that funny a film, whereas you can make a funny film with just Dale. So that was one of my large reasons for it.
And I think with Jimmy, it's opposites attracted. He does have some funny lines, but like none of the more memorable ones are from Jimmy.
No.
His is like his appeal is his awkwardness and the fact that he's the fucking the punching bag. Whereas like the bit where they fucking tell him that they're getting divorced and Dale starts fucking I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, that shit's class.
But like again, everything like even the small bits when like he's just sat there in his Chewbacca mask and the
When he
fart.
lets out the fart.
And it just fucking goes on and on, and all the bits at the beginning, like we've already talked about. Yeah, he's exactly what he's doing, exactly what Will Ferrell does, but he does it in such a, I don't know how to describe it. It's different, but it's very, very different. He's more like Brennan feels like the kid that follows the naughty kid, whereas Dale feels like the fucking naughty kid. Like when he fucking goes to bury him alive. And then when they're fighting as well. Oh, they're just so fucking good. The problem is with that film, there's so much that I'm trying to remember all of it, and I can't now I'm trying to think about it. I can't pinpoint like any of the best moments, but the bit where he goes to the bathroom and Derek's wife's there, and he's like, "We're having sex," and he's just pushing, and he's like, it's his fucking face when he does it, and he's like so cartoony and so fucking over the top.
Yeah, he is. He's brilliant. But yeah, I think we agree on that one. 10-9 in favour of Dale.
Yeah.
Speaking on cartoony over the top, we'll move on then to the villains of both movies. Fucking awesome across the board here. You've got Derek in Step Brothers, Brennan's brother and Dale's stepbrother, who is a real kiss ass in front of the parents, especially to Robert. But when he's like around Brennan and Dale, he's a real wanker, and like some of the shit he comes out with, he's such like a pretentious, like snobby wanker. Like he's brilliant.
Great singing voice, though.
You what? Sorry.
Great singing voice.
Yeah, fucking unbelievable. That's what I was about to say. One of the greatest intros to a villain ever when they're singing that in the car. It's fantastic. You've got him against the Van Waldenbergs in Blades of Glory, Strands and Fairchild, just ridiculous names as well. The two figure skaters who have been America's like darlings in that division for years, and now that now that Chaz Michaels and Jimmy McElroy have entered, they're kind of like turning their ugly heads. Although it was hinted by Katie that they cheated in the past to win, so maybe they've just been cheating all the way through. But we see how they deal with this new competition and how they have her spy and then try to disrupt the team and end up being fucking inbreds. It's weird as fuck. But both sets, like both the villains in both films, are so over the top. I have got to be honest though, there's only one winner again, and it's my guy Derek.
Yeah.
Adam Scott as Derek is one of the funniest characters in a movie. I think he's fucking brilliant. Everything that guy does just kills me. The intro in the car singing Sweet Child of Mine, and the way he berates his wife because her voice is flat, like it's absolutely outrageous. And the bit in the house when he's just talking to Robert and he's telling his story, and he forgets where he's at, and then he's like, "Oh, I've got plenty of stories." He's like, guilty as charged with the stories. Like, this guy is so annoying. Like, he's so up his own ass, but you can't help but think he's brilliant. The Tree House as well. When he lives since 2004, and it's clearly not Adam Scott's body. It's just fucking gold. It's so good.
He shaved his skin, never mind not being his Adam body.
And also, he's got like body butter on somehow. Like, it's oiled up. It doesn't even make sense. But he's like such a
arsehole
of like a toxic masculinity man. Like the bit when he gets in the car and he's shouting Alice, he's like, Alice, he's like, Dane Cook, pay-per-view, let's go. And it's like, you're just chatting fucking buzzwords. And he just keeps name dropping random celebrities, and he's like, yeah, I was at Chad Michael Murray's. It's like, fuck off. He's brilliant though. He's so funny. And I think the brother and sister duo, the Van Waldenbergs in Blades of Glory, are really funny. And the stuff when they're like guilt tripping the sister about the parents, and there's a line I think Strand says when he's just sat in the sofa, he's like, remember how they used to be alive? And it's just like
I think when I was watching it, I think that's the Grace hates these films. She absolutely hates them. I don't know why, because they're fucking hilarious. But that's the one line that I saw her laugh at the entire time. Is that remember when they were alive?
Yeah, it's so good. And when Fairchild potentially talks to the parents, like, "What's that? What's that, Dad?" Like just a guilt trip. Katie, bless her. It's so.
You do the when he's like, "Who are you anyway?" And he's like, "JFK." It'll make sense later.
Yeah.
And it fucking shows you the routine, and then just like the use of props, and it's got fucking the
It's
pill.
stopping it from choking on overdose, and it's so fucking. It's really funny. It is really, really funny.
Will Arnett's just fucking gold. Amy Poehler's fucking gold, but they're just
Adam
so
Scott.
they're so over the top. Adam Scott is a fucking G though.
He is like on another level funny. The stuff with the treehouse when he's like confronting him, and then he eventually he's like goading him, and he gets fucking punched. It kills me every single time.
I like, even though it's not really his moments of joking, it's still fucking. It gets me when. Maybe gets me is the words of the week. It gets me when thing is in the background saying "pow" and Brendan's like, hey, is he saying "pow" or "pow"? And Derek just carries on talking, like carries on like fucking berating Brendan about how important the Catalina fucking wine mixer is.
Have you seen the deleted scene for that, by the way?
No.
So the guy that keeps doing the pow, there's a deleted scene where he does it that much in that scene, he ends up having a heart attack. It's a deleted scene they had. There was a few that I watched because I used to have the DVD. I don't know what's happened to it now, but there was another one with Dale and Alice, and they're like, I think it's at Christmas, and they're in like the next room, like having sex, and they accidentally stumble through the door, and everyone sees them, but it's like he's got like bent over, so he's pretending like he's giving her a high rate because she's choking, and no one notices.
Oh, brilliant!
But everything Derek does is great. The stuff when he's talks to the parents about selling the house, then he goes over to Dale and Brennan, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "You guys are screwed. I'm going to make sure you're on the streets." He's like whispering it to him, and then he comes back, and the parents came. He's like, "Okay, it's great talking to you guys." He's like, he puts on that fake voice
while Ice Ice Baby is playing.
Yeah, oh yeah, and he does the Brendan has a mangina at school.
Let's not forget when he fucking starts showing people around the houses, and you got the first one where they dress up as a Nazi and a fucking KKK, and then you got the other one where they pretend like the dead bodies, and after they do that one, he's like, "Well played, guys."
Yeah, but I think it's that first one. I think when he's showing the black family, and he's trying to sound a bit hip, and the dad's like, "You don't need to talk like that." He's like, "Well, let's just start talking to my friends." It's like, "Cause it's fucking not."
Like, I'll talk to my friends, homie.
He said something like that, yeah.
I mean, not really a supporting character, so I'm just going to say it now. Side note: the guy when he's showing the family, when he's showing them round, is Phil Lamar, who voices Zoidberg and Bender. Not Bender, Zoidberg and somebody else. I can't remember. Yeah, he talks and you can hear Zoidberg.
Well, I didn't notice that, but I've never been one on that. I've not watched too many of that show, to be fair. Sorry, did you go 10-9 in favour of Adam Scott like Derek as well then?
Yeah.
I think it was a no-brainer, wasn't it? It was a no-brainer. That guy is fucking absolute gold.
When Brennan asks for a job and he's like, let's get a pool going.
He's just so funny. Everything he does just makes me laugh. Like the stories and stuff. When he's telling the story about the fish, and Dale asks how big it was, and then he's like, "It's a trophy fish," and the kid's like, "What's this guy's deal?" He's brilliant. He is brilliant. We'll move on then to the rest of the cast, because we've touched on the main two and the villains, but both movies have pretty fucking great supporting casts as well. Like, I'll just run through some of the names in both movies. So in Step Brothers, you've obviously got like Richard Jenkins as Robert. You've got Catherine Hahn as Alice. You've got, I think it's Mary, is it Steinberg, who plays Brendan's mum, Nancy. She was obviously known to me for her Back to the Future 3 role as Doc Brown's love interest, but I can't remember if that's her name. It's Mary something. I know that for 100%.
I'm sure it's Mary Steinberg.
Yeah, it's something like that. But both movies, I mean, you even got like Seth Rogen showing up. Like I said, we touched on him earlier.
Yeah.
We've got the guy that plays Gil in Modern Family as the Catalina wine mixer power guy. I can't remember his name. But he's brilliant. And then you talk about Birds of Glory as well. You've got like Craig T. Robinson. You've got like we said earlier, the woman from The Office. I don't know her real name.
The
Is it
woman from
something Jenna Fisher, I think she's called.
in Blades of Glory, yeah, Jenna Fisher.
Yeah, you've got her. You've got Hector, the crazy stalker, who says he's going to kill Jimmy one day, and he wants to wear his skin to a birthday party.
Oh, when he tells him the rules, then he walks out and he's like, "I'm still going to kill you one day."
Yeah, he's like, I just want to cut your skin off and wear it to my birthday. Like, the guy's fucking crazy.
You notice at the end in the final performance, he's wearing Jimmy's peacock costume.
Have you seen the end credits show? He's got the dolls.
Yeah,
He's like making them talk and stuff, and he's like crying. He's like, Chaz, look after him. He's fucking brilliant. Hector's so funny. I also love the idea that Jimmy had all these lawyers go through the rule books, and not one of them thought dope the pairs skating. Like it took years for one person to think, oh yeah, just don't do it as a single. And like, it's so funny that they pretended he had like lawyers scouring it, and no one came up with that.
Nobody can obsess like I can, Jimmy.
But it's when he's in the car, he's like, Jimmy, did you get my blood? Or does he hug him? He's like, you smell like a winner. He's brilliant. The dad as well that adopts Jimmy and then abandons him. That's the guy from Heat that we were talking about the other week, William Fitchner.
Yeah. Strange that I've seen William Fitchner in 2 films over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, big Roger Van Zant from Heat. He shows up. I think both casts are just so fucking funny. You even get a really random Luke Wilson cameo as the lead of the sex addicts for like groups, which comes out of nowhere. But yeah, they're both awesome. They are both fucking awesome. I did go. Oh wait, actually, it's you first. I'll let you go first this time.
Is it me?
Yeah, I did Derek first.
No, you did. I went Step Brothers. As much as I love the cast of Blades of Glory, I went 10-9 for Step Brothers. Just you got Seth Rogen in there. You've got, like you say, you've got Nancy and Roberts actors and everything. But Catherine Hahn wins it for me, single-handedly. Takes that win for me. She is so fucking funny in this film. Like when she climbs him in the bathroom and all the things she's saying there, fucking brilliant. And when they're having Christmas dinner and she shows him the plate and she's it says like, let's go fuck now or something, and the O is a wedding ring. Fucking brilliant. And like that bit with Seth Rogen's great. The woman. And I'm not going to talk about it because I really want to talk about it in the quotes. I'm trying to save as many for the quotes round as possible, which luckily is the fucking next round. But the woman who they do the interview with, when he sat behind her, yeah, she plays that fucking. I don't know her name, but she plays that fucking role beautifully. She's so fucking aggravated. You've got the POW guy. You've got fucking the Billy Joel support group, artists, cover band even. You've
got the kids that make him eat white dog crap. Is it a girl that's like, shut it, essay?
I'd say Derek's kids, but it's more really his son. Like you said, when he sings, he's a little fucking. You hate him as well immediately because you can tell
he's a real cocky little arrogant twat.
Yeah, and then when he's like, "What's this guy's deal?"
That's funny. That is so funny, that bit.
But Blades of Glory's got a better, like in terms of cast wise, I think it's better. But Step Brothers, they're just funnier. You just want to spend more time with them, like each and every one of them. And though I will say, it's never said in the film, but the choreograph dancer and the coach. Are they in a relationship? There's
there's got to be something there.
There's got a fucking stained glass window in the background that's got them two like walking in the sunset with a love heart above their head.
Yeah, there's got to be something there.
But the coach is funny, but not as funny as like, I don't know. He doesn't. None of the supporting characters, like even the best supporting character in Blades of Glory, is not as good as the worst supporting character in Step Brothers to me. Unfortunately, sorry, Jenna Fisher, I love you, and like we say, but
yeah. Oh, well, like I said earlier,
not as the
ever been.
You are.
Her in that film is just peak attractiveness. Like, I think it's unbelievable.
Not as hot as the counsellor when he's a lumberjack and he rips the fucking suit off her in one go.
But yeah, I agree. I think apart from the villains, the Von Waldenbergs, and obviously Jimmy and Chaz, not many other people in that cast really get the chance to be that funny. Obviously, Hector does. Hector's just got some fucking great
Yeah,
lines.
Hector's the only one that could match any of Step Brothers'
Yeah.
like level of quality, I think.
Yeah, he's great, but I went 10-9 in favor of Step Brothers as well because, like you said, Catherine Hahn just fucking kills it. And I love my fucking guy, the Catalina Wine Mixer Pal guy. I wish I knew his name. I know his first name in real life is Rob, and I can't remember his last name, so I'm just going with the Catalina Wine Mixer guy. But
Right,
he is so funny. Everything like I said, the stuff he does with Brennan when he's talking about how much he hates his face and he needs to change it before he changes it for him and stuff like that. He's just really fucking funny. The
Rob
kid
Riggle.
is what's that?
Rob Riggle.
Rob
Randy.
Riggle. I knew it was Rob. Rob Riggle. Yeah, he is brilliant. He's brilliant in every. I think he's another one though that he kind of plays the same character in everything he does, but it makes me laugh every single time.
Yeah.
Like in Modern Family, he's brilliant. He's appeared on Impractical Jokers a few times, and he's great on that. I think he's like so funny. But
oh shit, I forgot that Ken Young was in it.
oh yeah, he hires him at the end, doesn't he? The catering company.
Yeah, the catering company.
Yeah, he's great. Seth Rogen's just random cameo when he says the tuxedos are messed up because he can smell onions and ketchup.
Like at first when he's like, I like it, it's ironic, he's like taking it to the man, and then he's like, no, when he's tasting the fun, he's like, no, I'm thinking about it. The suits are a little messed.
Yeah, when he says I can taste it, onions and ketchup. But yeah, that cast is great. The kids making him eat white dog crap, funny as hell. The Derek's son is just an utter wanker, but he's played very effectively. And I think not Nancy's funny, but I think Robert is fucking hilarious. Like some of the shit he comes out with when he's spanking Brennan, it's just fucking gold. It's just everything he does. Like when he's like, "You wrecked my fucking boat, you goons."
I've already said it once, but it's when they're like asking if they can make bunk beds, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. And I know that's a TikTok thing at the moment, but I love it.
Yeah, he's great.
And Nancy's like, you can. Brendan puts my bag in the freezer when he sleepwalks, and he's like, look in the oven, and it's all the fucking pillows.
Yeah, he's like couch pillows. Yeah, he's brilliant. The line when Dale's like, "We're men, we like to shit with the door open. We talk about pussy, we make beef jerky, we go on riverboat gambling trips," and then Robert's like, "We have literally never done any of those things." I like how he is more fed up with them, whereas the mum's obviously very sympathetic and she finds it hard to like put her foot down, whereas he's just like, "Fuck you guys, you're both idiots." I think it's so funny.
When Derek's talking to him and he's like infecting him with his arseholiness, and he starts talking to Nancy about like quite harshly and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, "Cheers the record." Yeah, that's so funny. But we need to get to it now because I went 10-9 in favor of Step Brothers as well. So we've both done that.
Here we go.
It's time to talk about the quotes because as far as movies we've done so far, I think these might be the two with the very, very, very best quotes. I think these are just fucking phenomenal.
I think the only film that might rival the quotes of this film that we've done potentially would be when we did South Park.
Yeah, South Park was good. But yeah, we've got plenty here, so we might as well just fucking dive straight into it. We'll go through some.
Right, I made notes.
Go on then. I'll let you go first.
The one that I keep talking about that I said from not Step Brothers, Blades of Glory that I've used. It's really hard to do it, but if you can fit it in a conversation, it's good. I see you still look like a 15-year-old girl, but not hot.
Yeah, that one's gold. That one is gold. Chaz is fucking funny as hell.
The best Chaz line in the entire film, and this is one that I said earlier, it's a very quick line, and it's when he comes back from his date with the Van Waldenberg girl. When Jimmy comes back from the date the next day, and he walks up to Jimmy and he's like, did you carve up the ice with your wiener?
Yeah, I like everything. To be fair, you could go through every single line that Chaz has got. I love when he's like, What's the quote that he says at the end when they got on the ice? I can't remember the quote. He says, let's do something. And Jimmy's like, oh, that sounds good. Where'd you get that? I was like, I've no idea. It's on the big line behind me.
Embrace the dream.
That was it. Let's do that. And he's like, that's so good. Where'd you get that? I was like, I've no idea.
Came to me at the beginning when after the fight, he's like, are you an official here? Because you're officially giving me a boner. and near the end when what is it? Near the end when they're doing like a press conference and some woman speaking Chinese and he goes, no, that's in the other room.
And then Jimmy just starts speaking and he's like, yeah, I like that one. I also like oh shit, it's just gone out of my head. I had one, but it's gone.
Oh, well, I did that last week. That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? You're getting old, mate. When you get to my age,
I can imagine. Yeah.
Oh, somebody pointed out today that I'm going to be 35 next year. Within the next year, and it's very fucking upsetting.
Yeah, that's grim.
It is. Luckily, I'm very clearly grown up.
Yeah. Definitely at your age.
We definitely need to do a Star Wars episode soon, so I can wear one of these the entire episode. And I'll do it. I'll get like one of them tiny little mics and sellotape it inside.
Yeah, we should do that. But yeah, back to the quotes before we get distracted too much. What else have you got written down for Blades of Glory?
They're the ones that I got written down for Blades of Glory. Because after that I got a bit tired. I've got a few more for Step Brothers, but like you said, she's not a whore.
Yeah, that one's good. Katie's not a whore. Or when they both get banned and Jimmy gives that really nice speech about I hope you guys continue forgiveness, and Chaz comes in with a magazine, it's like front cover, Chaz Michaels is figure skating. Boom. Everything he does is just brilliant. I think when that guy tries to guide them to the podium at the very first one, he's at the very beginning, he's like, I act alone. He's like, I'm a lone wolf. And when he's talking to Jimmy, he's like, I hope you brought your silver Portland McElroy because that was gold.
I can't remember exactly what he says. I really wish I could now. He's talking about the tattoos. Oh, fuck.
Oh, I can't remember.
He's talking about like one of the girls, and he like talks about how like he was too much for her or something. I can't remember what it was, but it had me creasing. And
I can't remember the exact lines, but the moment in the sex addict meeting when that girl's like, him and that girl are kind of egging each other on. And he's like, yeah, well, this happened, and then nothing happened. And she's like, oh, and then he's like, until the receptionist came in, like half naked, and then that Luke Wilson's character's like, Charles, don't make me ask you to leave again.
When he's walking up to Katie's room and he's like reciting the sex addicts thing, and it's like masturbation's the best defense or something. Sometimes masturbation's the best defense. I'm pretty sure that's not the line, but
I think it's something like sometimes masturbation is the best option or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. But sorry, Blades of Glory, you got fucking no chance against the fucking big dog, which is obviously a 10-9 to Step Brothers, because we got when they're fucking laying in bed and he's like, this is a house of learned doctors. He's like, you're not a doctor, you're a curly-headed fuck. You're a big fat curly-headed fuck.
Yeah, that line fucking kills me. That line is so good. Like everything they do in that bedroom when he's like, yeah, we said we're gonna take turns banging the questionable word that I can't use anymore. He said we're gonna take turns banging the R, and he's like, who's that? He's like, you. Now you don't say that. And it's like, I can't just when you fall asleep, I'm gonna punch you straight in the face. He's like, I'm gonna fill my pillow with bars of soap and beat the shit out of you.
When they it's a really quick one, and Nancy wakes him up and he's like, I'll kill you, Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, and then I think Dale's like, the clown had no penis. It's like, what dreams are you guys having?
What kind of dreams are you guys having?
Yeah, that's good. And when the Derek first shows up and they're in the treehouse looking at the retro porn magazine, it's like, and then I think Dale says, it's like masturbating in the time machine.
That's literally the next one I had written down.
I love that one. I do love that one. But you see, when Derek climbs up, he's like, you want to punch me in the face, but you won't. So why don't you punch me in the fucking face? And you think he looks at Dale, he's like, what you looking at, Kimasabi?
I want to roll you what's her name? Catherine Hahn's. I want to roll you up in a little ball and stick you in my vagina.
It's like every tickle and scratch. It's just you.
can't remember it all. He just carries on. He just lived there, and every time
He's like, it's cozy. Yeah, or when Dale punches Derek and he falls out of the tree, and Brendan's like, "Hey, Derek, you know what helped that shoulder pain?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "If you lick my butthole."
it's such a fucking childish insult. Is it when they're having, I can't remember when it is. I've written it down. Is it when they're having sex when he says, "I feel like lightning bolt hit the tip of my penis"?
I don't know if that's when they're having sex, whether it's what he says after he hears Brendan sing for the first time.
Yeah, it is. When they're having sex, and he's like, "I feel all tingly."
But that stuff with Brendan, that first showdown when they're sat at the table and he's like, "How good?" He's like, "I've been called the songbird of my generation by people that have heard me that good." And then Dale sings that song. He's like, "Oh, I can sing too." Like, if you want to get down on these hairy balls, then why don't you jump right in? The little showdown, because I think then Brennan's like, "Oh, that's true. I remember when I had my first beer." And then Dale says, "Oh, that's so funny. Last time I laughed at that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur." And Brennan cries.
when Robert's losing his shit and he's like, "You're embarrassing yourself, you geriatric fuck."
He's like,
"You geriatric fuck" is something I use all the time.
Yeah, that line's class. I also love when
hands off my mother. She's a saint.
Yeah, take your livers by your hands off my mother.
My mother's a saint. If anybody mentions does a mum joke to me, that is what I'll say. Like you stop talking about my mother. She's a saint. Fucking every single time.
That is great.
There's obviously the classics of when he's like, "There's no TV." And he's like, "But it's Shark Week."
Yeah, he's always says that this house is a fucking prison. I'm playing bullshit in Galaxy. This sucks camel dicks. Yeah, that's great. And I like it when they first tell him they're moving out as well. And they're like, "We've got to go to therapy. He's selling the house." And it's like, there's something else. And I can't remember what the third thing is. And Brandon's like, "What the fuck happened?" He's like, "I got a belly full of white dog crap in me. And now you lay this shit on me."
He's doing it like in a dead serious tone. It's fucking brilliant. When he's in the car at the beginning and he's like, "I'll drop that motherfucker."
Yeah, he's like, "Robert Ben not getting my face. I'll drop that motherfucker." He's like, where did you go, Colin? She's like, "John Hopkins. Is that good enough?" He was like, "No, it's not. I smoked pot with Johnny Hopkins." She's like, "You don't know Johnny Hopkins." He's like, "It's Johnny Hopkins and Sloan Kettering, and we were blazing that shit up every day."
The woman, when they're doing the back-to-back interviews, when he sat behind him and she's talking, and there's like the Pam and the Pan. He said, "Pam, is that with a D?"
And then every time she tries to speak, he's like, "Show your face. Show your face.
Shut your face."
That's so good. It is so good.
Oh, maybe I should start doing that at work. Shut up. Shut your face.
I'll tell you one that I still use all the time now, and it's whenever I rearrange furniture, and there's so much room for activities.
Yeah.
Making my head spin all the activities we can do.
Every time. Late last year, about this time last year, when at work we redid the team room and we moved stuff about, and there was like a little bit more space in there. I just remember being coming in and looking at so much more room for activities.
Yeah, that one gets quite a lot.
Every time I move the office around, move the desks around, it's just the perfect fucking quote.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. And I love when they're first becoming friends and he shows him the samurai sword signed by Randy Jackson. He's like, "Well, I was only carrying the samurai sword. You're not going to not get Randy Jackson's autograph." Oh, man. There's so many.
The one that I put in the video is what's your favorite dinosaur? And
Velociraptor. What's your favorite non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to? And he's like, Good Housekeeping. He's like, if you were a chick, what's the one dude you'd sleep with? And he will say John Stamos.
And then the one that I feel like everybody uses, and it's definitely become like a TikTok sound, is, "Did we just become best friends?"
Yeah, that one has been used a lot, but it's good. It is good. I think it's all great. I love it. I love it all. It's a film I can quote forever. I could spend so much time just talking through some of those quotes. It's so funny. It's deep competition, but I went 10-9 in favour of that as well, because I do think Blades of Glory's got some great quotes, but Step Brothers, there's too many to ever rule against it. Like I said, I think in terms of movies that we've done, for me, I think this movie has got the most quotes, and I think there's not many movies that I've watched and enjoy where I can quote to the level I can quote this. It fucking kills me every single time.
Not even quotes, but just sometimes the sounds they're making when they're fucking sleepwalking. The sounds they're making is so fucking funny.
Yeah, I like as well. When he's sat on the sofa, he's like, he's like, why you're sweaty? He's like, I'm watching Cops. And then he goes, like, he goes upstairs and comes back, like, touch my drumstick. Oh man, he's like, I know you touched my drumstick. It's got a chip in it. He's like, you sound insane. And then he gets to his own ego. He's like, I'm gonna put my nutsack on your drumstick. And he's like, when he's rubbing his bollocks on, he's like, man, he's playing Moby Dick for real. And they have the fight outside, and I think shortly afterwards, Nancy's like, I heard my son roll yet rape at the top of his lungs. He's like, I honestly thought I was going to get raped for a second. He's like, he had this crazy look in his eye. He said, let's get it on. And Dad's like, I was talking about the fight. I'm so not a raper.
Fucking brilliant.
Unbelievable.
It's 10-9 to Step Brothers, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely it is. It has to be. I love the Blades of Glory quotes. Like we said, we did say some great ones. Obviously, the one that got taken and put in the Kanye West Jay-Z song, which name I can't repeat. We just get to one song only, and he's like, Homes by the Black Eyed Peas. He's like, what you gonna do with all that Homes? It's so good. So good. I love both though.
One's clearly the winner.
Yeah, it has to be because, like I said, while Blades of Glory's got some great quotes, they come from a couple of people, whereas Step Brothers got quotes from everyone. So many different characters in that film have unbelievable quotes. You've got Dale, Brennan, you've got Robert, Derek, Rob Riggle, Catherine Hahn. Even the kids, what's this guy's deal? Is a fucking brilliant line.
The one little moment in Blades of Glory that I really like, so small moment that I really fucking love, is when he sanitizes his hand and is like, Skittle. It's just me, like, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it is. I do like the dad in the beginning. That he's got some funny lines when the first when Jimmy wins the ties we charge for the gold, and he goes up to Craig T. Robinson like, "You're fired." He's like, "I got you a gold medal." He went, "You got me half a gold medal. If I wanted to share, I'd have bought him a brother."
Yeah.
Jesus. What does he say at the beginning? He's like, "We had a good run, 22 years or something." He's like, "But it's time for a fresh start. I'm unadopting you."
I think the correct term is disowning.
He's like, pulls it over. He's like, "It's like a band-aid. Just pull it off. Get out." It's so good. I do like it a lot. But yeah, Step Brothers just it takes the cake. It's hard not to go with that when some of the lines from everyone are just fucking absolute gold. So next we'll move on to the soundtrack then, because both movies have got quite a decent soundtrack. In Step Brothers, there's obviously the opening song, which is A-Punk Vampire Weekend, which is great. It's a great way to open the film.
Is that not a closing song?
No, that's the opening one. That's that. Oh,
that was beautiful.
that's what I do.
Mike
Brennan, I'm singing it for you for the first time.
You got like a songbird.
Of my generation.
I thought it was the ending, but
no, I think that's the beginning. They might have played it again at the end, but it's at the beginning. And then you've got "You Make My Dreams Come True."
Great song.
That is a great song. You've got Brennan singing the Spanish version of "Time to Say Goodbye,"
which is the opening song in
Blades of Glory, but in English.
Because Grace loves that song, and she watched me watch the end of Step Brothers, and she was like, "I can't believe they're fucking doing this song. This is fucking ridiculous. What is the point?" Like, kind of thing. And then I put Blades of Glory, like I finished Step Brothers, let's play on Blades of Glory straight away. And then she was like, it started playing, and she went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's funny that it's in both. But yeah, that's great. You've got
the soundtrack on vinyl. Nice. This is where my addiction becomes a problem.
How much
I don't need it, but I want it. If Boats and Hoses on it, I'm fucking spending any kind of money.
That's it. Boats and Hoses
at the beginning. So what's at the end then?
I can't remember.
No, neither.
But yeah, Boats and Hoses is incredible. Technically, the song's not in the film, but they sing "Child of Mine," which is great.
It's the impression that I get by the Mighty Boss tones at the end. What a fucking song.
Yeah, you've got a few great ones in that. Like Boats and Hoses, just fucking unbelievable. And Blades of Glory's got a few good ones as well that they skate to. Like you've got, like you said, Time to Say Goodbye at the beginning. You've got
Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Yeah, by Aerosmith, which is one of my favorite movie songs ever in Armageddon. I think it's fucking great. So I'll never.
You're going to try and find a way for us to do Armageddon, are you?
No, I don't know what that compared to.
Impact.
I've never seen that one.
It's basically the same thing.
Oh,
What everybody compared them to back in the day.
But only one of them's got Bruce Willis in and Ben Affleck, so I know which will win. But it's also got like the Flash song at the end.
What does he? Oh yeah, Stroke by Billy Squire that Chaz performs like at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning. So yeah, there are some great songs. But how did you score that then?
It's hard because they're both great, but I scored only one of them, like I said before, has got a Spanish rendition of Time to Say Goodbye, remixed with Boats and Hose, a Prestige Worldwide original.
Yeah.
There was a time, and it was about the time I was working in Spoons. My latter end.
You worked in Spoons?
Yeah, you was working in Spoons.
Keep that quiet.
Yeah, well, I won't talk about where I currently work because I still work there. I talk shit about Spoons all I like. I like my job now. I talk shit all day long to my old job. But it was like in the latter years, and it's when I used to like do a few more shifts in the kitchen, and whenever I put the music on, and there was a time where Boats and Hose was on Spotify, so I used to play that all the fucking time. Like it'd go from like, you know me, my music tastes are very eclectic. It'd go from like AC/DC to Green Day to Boats and Hose to Michael Bolton. It'd be fucking brilliant. Yeah, Boats and Hose is a great song.
It is. That Boats and Hose is alone is enough for me to give this Step Brothers 10-9.
But you've got, like I said, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, which is a great song. You got A-Punk at the beginning.
Great way to open it.
Yeah. You don't really need much else. I can't remember the other songs that are in it. There's one earlier.
Like I said, technically, Sweet Child of Mine isn't in it, but Derek sings it that good that it fucking counts.
Yeah.
You've got Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah. You've got the pirate musical song.
It's just brilliant. I love it. You've got what's that song called where it's like, it's like at Christmas and it's like, who gets the family Bible? Country.
Yeah.
It's a fucking good soundtrack. And like Blades of Glory's one's good. Like some of the songs they skate to are awesome.
Flash, great one.
Yeah, Don't Want to Miss a Thing's great. And I love when they fall out and Chaz rings Jim and it's like 5 a.m. and he's singing it down the phone. And that's something I still do to this day. If me and Ellen are in the car, because she loves Blades of Glory as well. If we're in the car and we're listening to Don't Want to Miss a Thing, we'll both say, because I miss you, Jimmy, at some point. We will always, always, always say that. It happens every time. I think it's so funny when he does that. It's great, but it doesn't have Boats and Hose, which is enough for me.
You're forgetting the Black Eyed Peas. They got the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which I think we've used I used that in the video for to announce that we're doing Blades of Glory. It's such a fucking funny scene.
Yeah, they are funny.
But yeah, nothing compares to fucking hell. Time to Say Goodbye with the drum.
Yeah. But yeah, again, it's like
solo at the end.
Him singing that song is so important to the movie as well. So that elevates it alone because he's fucking good as well.
I like the Sweet Child of Mine bit when he's singing. It's like, my name's Derek and I can sing high.
Yeah, he's like trying to save it with a solo. Bow, wow, I'm Derek. And I can sing high. I'm like,
whoa. It's too close, Cal. We might get a copyright strike on this.
Yeah, true, with my voice and all. But I think as well at the beginning when he tells his son to go and his son's like to kick it off and he looks so smug with himself because he is a good singer. And then Alice comes in, the poor woman is just flat. So flat, she doesn't
where you'll say, because I miss you, Jimmy. If I'm ever listening to Sweet Child of Mine, when it gets to that bit, I will in my head or out loud go, she's got a smile. Flat.
So flat, you don't even look good while you're singing. He's like $1,500 a week, and I get this. It's so
when he says, I don't think you don't even look good when you're singing. And she's just sat there like
miserable, bless her. It is good though. It is brilliant. I love
Oh.
that stuff. I do love it a lot. Boats and Hose is just fucking, it's special.
There was
Messed
a
up at the
time,
end.
there was a time when I had Time to Say Goodbye on the soundtrack, and I'd make sure I played it immediately after Boats and Hose.
It's great. They are both great.
In fact,
Also, it's technically not really a song, but Dale's singing at the table, and he's like, "If you want to get down on these hairy balls, then why don't you jump right in? It's a crotch party." Like that. That stuff is fucking funny, and it's technically a song, so I'm counting it on the soundtrack.
agreed. Fair enough.
So that's 10-9 again. So we're on the last category now, then, which is the legacy of both movies and how they've held up. This one's a very, very straightforward and easy one for me because I think Step Brothers has been regarded as maybe Will Ferrell's greatest ever comedy. It's one of those. It's definitely up there, and a lot of people really, really, really like this one, and it's still fondly remembered, and it's one of those that people talk about all the time. But like I said at the top of the episode, Blades of Glory has gone largely underrated in the years since it came out, I think, and not as many people like it or revisit it or have even watched it at all. I don't know if that's because it's not even on like Netflix or Amazon or anything like that, whereas Step Brothers is. So it's not as available, but it's just not quite as like
Regardless.
yeah, it's not as well regarded and it's not remembered as fondly. So I went 10-9 in favour of Step Brothers.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said, Blades of Glory, you take away the rose tint and the glasses, it's not that great of a movie. It's a bit kind of not, it's a comedy on the cheap, and it's just one of those we'll get two actors that are funny right now and we'll put them together in a situation. And it was happening a lot of the time, whereas Step Brothers, like you say, is genuinely like, it still holds up. It's still fucking hilarious. It's well regarded as one of Will Ferrell's best movies. Like that and Anchorman is pretty much tied, I would say. I mean, for me, Eurovision and Talladega Nights as well, but Step Brothers is it's a strange four-way tie for me with Will Ferrell. But yeah, I mean, really, really simple. Like everybody knows Step Brothers. Everybody's has heard at least one quote. Everybody's seen at least one clip. Everybody knows at least one joke. Whereas Blades of Glory, like I had to explain to like Grace what it was, and she knows film. Like she knew it was the ice skating one, but then she was like, "Oh no, that's not the one I'm thinking of," because she thought it was somebody else. So, like, I just think it's not got as much like because it's. I don't think it did very well when it came out either, and it was in that era when it was like, just these were coming out non-stop. Loads of these times the film were coming out non-stop. So yeah, unfortunately, even though Blades of Glory is great and I love it, gotta go to Step Brothers on that one.
Yeah, I agree. And it's weird how it all adds up because, like I said, going in, I love both movies and I think they're both great. But I'm looking at the scores here and we've actually got a landslide in favour of Step Brothers, which wins 196 to 183. That could be one of our biggest ever results, which is strange because they're both I quite rate them, not too dissimilarly. Like it's not, the gap's not too big, but when you break it down into the categories, it kind of opens up. Which is really surprising. But yeah, this is probably one of the, maybe the most one-sided we've ever done.
I don't know, you were pretty fucking one-sided when it came to Back to the Future, and I was pretty fucking one-sided when it came to Conjuring versus Insidious.
Yeah, that's true actually. But we were both quite one-sided here. Like I think I went the first few with Blades of Glory, but then I think I went everything after that was Step Brothers, and I think you did one for Blades of Glory, and then everything after was Step Brothers. So we both kind of fucking got dominated in the end. It's probably fair though. Like I said, there's a reason Step Brothers has been remembered so well. Whereas,
I think going in, I kind of knew Step Brothers. It's the better film. It's the funnier film. I knew it was going to win.
Yeah.
Probably should have put it up against Talladega Nights, and I probably would have struggled more.
I've never seen that one.
You've not seen Talladega Nights?
No, never.
It's basically Step Brothers, but instead of 40-year-old idiots who are acting like children, it's like trailer trash. It's John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell playing like trailer trash NASCAR drivers. Fucking brilliant. If I cancel, like we're gonna watch a film tonight, we'll cancel that and we'll just watch Talladega Nights instead.
Yeah, I'm not sure that'd go down with Big Bernie boy. That might upset him. Gonna watch a great film tonight.
We are.
Great film. I can't wait to watch it. But yeah, that brings another show down to an end then. Step Brothers wins by a landslide. Do we have next week's episode sorted already?
No.
No, I didn't think we did. We're doing a good job at the moment where we leave it until the very last minute.
Yeah, we're doing a fantastic job. It makes me planning out stuff really, it makes it really easy for me.
Yeah, me too. Like
shit. Oh no, I mentioned an idea yesterday and you were like, that sounds good, but we need to like nail the films down. We know what the last film and the films are at the end of the month. If we're still going to do that.
I can't remember already, so you'll have to remind me.
Okay. Right, do you know, it's not good when I've got the worst memory. I feel like I've got the worst memory out of anybody I know. And it's not good when you can't fucking remember.
My memory's terrible. It's so bad. I'm so clumsy that over like the years I've like doing something and I'll accidentally bang my head and I'm putting it down to that. Like I've lost a lot of brain cells from the amount of damage my head's taken. Just like even just like when I used to work reviewing, I'd be like emptying the ice machine and the flap would bang me on the head and it'd do it like 4 or 5 times and I'd be staggering about afterwards. Even when I went to Portugal last month or the month before with Eleanor and we got on a plane and I moved to let someone through and I just banged my head on like the overhead bit in front of everyone. And I was like, oh shit, because you can't let it fall back or anything. You just got to stand there just like head fucking rattling. It's like, oh god. Yeah, my memory is shot to bits.
Yeah, okay, well maybe you can take that one.
Yeah.
My memory's terrible because of all the important things I've got in there, like background characters in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's mine. I don't remember anything that anyone ever tells me or any plans I've made. But if you want to talk to me about the Intercontinental Champion on WWE Monday Night Raw in 1994, we can fucking talk for 20 minutes. It's ridiculous. Or if you ask me a Blackburn Rovers player that made 4 appearances in 2005, I could probably give you his life story.
So you gave 2 examples that I care fuck all about.
Yeah, because I'm macho and I like me sports like wrestling.
I'm macho. I've got 6 lightsabers and 3 Mandalorian helmets. I don't know what's not macho about that.
Yeah, very true. Very true. You got how many Mandalorian helmets? 3.
Got 3 Mandalorian ones, 6 sabers, and then I've got an X-wing pilot helmet up here.
You know,
too much fucking stuff, mate. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Whose lightsabers you got?
Luke's. Oh, it is hard.
Yeah, I can't really tell from here.
Luke's blue one, Mace Windu's purple one, Rey's yellow one from End of thingy, Darth Vader's Luke's green one, and then for fuck's sake, which way? No, this way. That's the one from the video game, just laid across.
Yeah.
Horizontal there.
What, from Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Fair enough. But it cost a fortune, didn't it?
That space there is reserved for the Darksaber when I finally get my grubby little mitts on it.
Yeah, but that's cost a fortune.
That bit, when we just did there, would be great for our Spotify listeners that can't see fuck all.
I know, yeah. Yeah, we just looked at some lightsabers. If anyone probably doesn't give a shit anyway, so.
Probably not. But if you do want to see a very blurry image that you can't really tell,
head over to YouTube at the CineMatch podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been another episode then. Our information's underneath if you want to find us anywhere else on X or Letterboxd. I am 7 films away from averaging one a day for the year, 365.
I think
I've started my Christmas watch and all now.
No, fucked it then, haven't we?
I've started my Christmas watch. I've watched like 5 Christmas films already.
I'm on 91 films for the year that haven't been logged in Letterboxd before. So I've definitely watched loads more, but I'm only counting ones that haven't been logged on Letterboxd. So
yeah,
91's not bad.
No, it's not 91 new things. I've just watched 358 fucking random shit. Back to the Future's like 4 times.
120 of them are Back to the Future.
But no, Christmas watches on the go. Watched like 5, 6 Christmas films already, including some terrible Netflix ones. So yeah, you're going to be seeing plenty of them. I can't wait till Hallmark ones start popping up.
Great.
Over there soon. The 2-star classics.
Do you know what? I was thinking, should we do like a shitty Hallmark episode over Christmas? But then I thought to myself, no, because then I'd have to fucking watch them. Fucking not.
No, we've got some excellent ideas for the Christmas month, though. We've got some good.
I'm leaving Christmas to you. Christmas is all on you.
Good. I've got some fucking great ideas.
Great.
So many Christmas movies that I can't wait to do. But yeah, that brings this episode to an end then, guys. If you did like the video, then like it. Quite literally like it.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel as well if you want. If you are listening on any of the audio feeds for the podcast on like Apple Music or Amazon Podcasts and that sort of thing, feel free to subscribe on there or head over to the YouTube channel if you want. At the CineMatch Podcast. We are on social media as well, on Instagram at CineMatch Pod, where Nathan shares all the cool teasers for the episodes, which I have no part in because it'd look a lot worse if I did. We're also on Facebook and X as well at the CineMatch Pod. Again, I think Facebook's the CineMatch Podcast, and I think it's at CineMatch Pod on X and Instagram. So feel free to head over there.
I'm slowly creating a look for us. We went dots for a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't like that. Now we're on scratches, and then the next big move will be to get rid of the yellow.
Yeah, well, just wait till Christmas when it's all jolly. Can't fucking...
Oh, Christmas! I'll be we know how much I had fun with Halloween. Wait till we get fucking Christmas.
I can't wait. I'm fucking hyped as hell. But yeah, thanks for watching then, guys, and we will be back at the same time next week.
Yeah, before we was out the other day. Just a quick aside, as we're talking about Instagram and Facebook and whatever, we was out the other day having lunch because it was Grace's dad's birthday, and I don't know how, but I'd never mentioned, because I don't go around talking about being in a podcast and only being in a podcast. So I've actually got a life, but
I've got life working at the lovely cinema.
Yeah. It's stressful, but I love it. No, my life outside of work, where I just read Star Wars stuff and only consume Star Wars media. Anyway, I mentioned I did a podcast, and he was like, "You do a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, I talk about films." He was like, "Who do you do that with?" I went, "Somebody who's worked with, a friend of mine." And he went,
"Whoa, friend."
Yeah, well, I think
that's wishful thinking.
We're okay, colleagues. And it's all right. I don't need to cry. And he was like, "Oh, right, where can you find that?" And the next thing I know, he's subscribed to us on Apple Music, on Instagram, and on Facebook.
Fucking love to see it. Get him in all.
I'll listen to you in car. I don't know. There's a few F's and Jeffs.
Yeah, not with my language. Jesus. Sometimes I forget my own mother listens to this sometimes, and my language is a choice because I don't actually swear in front of my mum. And if I do, I apologise immediately. But when she listens to this, she must hear me swear more than she's ever heard in my entire life because I have quite the potty mouth.
Terrible son.
Whoa, that's not true. I'm an angelic son. She's blessed.
Blessed.
But yeah, tidbit aside, thanks for watching, guys, / listening. And we shall see you at the same time next week. So peace out.
This is a podcast of learned doctors.